morning. I'm sorry to inform you, but there are currently no fast passes available for this Bishop Grimes experience. I'd like to start by taking a moment to thank all of the people who have brought us to where we are. It hasn't always been easy, and there are certain people who we wouldn't be here without. Thank you to our parents for their sacrifices day in and day out, paying for our tuition, driving us back and forth to endless sporting events and concerts, and being our #1 supporters. Thank you to our teachers for their patience and hard work, and for teaching us not only historical facts and math formulas, but also perseverance and personal values. Finally, thank you to any of those whose titles I may not specifically mention, who have also helped us in some way to get where we are standing today. Aunts, uncles, godparents, grandparents, friends, bosses, and more, you know who you are. I can't overemphasize the importance of having these encouragers and motivators present in our lives. Now I'm going to take us on a little journey that starts in the past, 6 years ago to be exact. September 2010, 7th grade. The year of the royal wedding and the final movie in the Harry Potter series. 66 young, eager students walked through these doors for their first day of classes. They put on brave faces, but unanswered questions and anxieties swirled through their minds. How will we find our classes in only 3 minutes? Who will we sit with at lunch, and what if our teachers are mean? How will the passes in our planner possibly last us an entire marking period? As ridiculous as these questions now seem, they were very legitimate concerns to us at the time. Everyone else seemed so much older and more grown up, and we are starting fresh in a crowd of unfamiliar faces. Bishop Grimes has never felt larger than it did on that day. Fast forward to June 2011. The end of the school year finds us waving goodbye, signing yearbooks, and making summer plans with very close friends who the same time a year before we didn't even know. Our first Grimes Day, then graduation. The band kids are there, getting their first annual go-round at Pomp and Circumstance. We're happy for the now-familiar seniors and caught up in the excitement, but our own graduation is lifetimes away, or so it seems. 2012, 2013. A few faces come and a few faces go, something we become very accustomed to during the next several years. In fact, many of those who joined us years after that first day, students and teachers alike, ended up having some of the greatest impacts on us. 2015, 10th grade. Taking our place in the downstairs hallway, we suddenly feel so much older. Having heard rumors of a hidden Nerf gun, we braved Mrs. Toscano's class. By the end of the year, it is one of our favorites. 2015, the end of junior year. Many friends graduate, and we anticipate our own senior years. Big things loom on the horizon. Beginning of senior year. Watching the little 7th graders rush to class under the weight of their huge backpacks, it's hard to believe that we were them not that long ago. On a cold, very wet October day, we face a tall, threatening wall during our senior class retreat at Adam Eden Camp. Only by each person contributing and working together are we able to mount this physical wall. Throughout the entirety of the rest of the school year, we mount the real and much more scarier walls of college applications, deadlines, important decisions, and trying to figure out just exactly what it is we want to do with our lives. 2016, the end of senior year. A blur of glass as we start looking forward to many approaching firsts. Celebrations. August comes. 50 college-bound high school graduates keep in touch but go their separate ways. They put on brave faces, but unanswered doubts, questions, and anxieties again swirl through their minds. We've talked big about how ready we are to be done with high school, outdoing one another in an unspoken contest of who is most ready to leave. And yes, we are ready to begin this next chapter. But deep down, we may be a little nervous, a little jittery, and definitely a little uncertain of what is to come. Not only is this okay, it is to be expected. And although the new beginnings of this fall are much more daunting than those we faced as 7th graders starting Bishop Grimes, look how far we've already come. We've not only doubled in height, but also in wit, knowledge, understanding, and experience. Oh, and here's a little more proof. We no longer show off silly bands, flaunt Justin Bieber-style haircuts, or have wardrobes consisting only of shirts with Aeropostale or Hollister written boldly across them, just like we did when we entered those doors in 7th grade. Instead of striving to fit into a crowd, we have formed our own identities. With a thoughtful outlook and a bit of willpower, we're capable of anything. Just as we did years ago, we will again quickly find our footing and befriend some great people along the way. So, be confident. You've earned this. The late nights finishing projects, heartbreaks, losses on and off the court, and days of uncertainty have all formed you into the accomplished, strong, beautiful graduates standing before me. Don't hesitate to be hard on yourself. If you're ever comfortable gliding along, you're doing something wrong. Challenging oneself is the gateway to all improvement, and I would advise you to always, as Mrs. Kelly would say, just do it. It builds character. Be humble. Again, not a single one of us got here on our own. When was the last time you admitted to one of those encouragers or motivators that yes, they actually were right? And never forget your roots. In dance, when we turn, we use a technique called spotting. In other words, even as the world rapidly spins around you, you keep your eyes focused on the exact spot where you started, and it keeps you balanced. Always do this. No matter where you end up, or what kind of name you make for yourself. Someday you will be another person's encourager. Maybe you already are. Always help this next person in line. Next, respect others. We all have our own difficulties, and the last thing someone else needs is you tearing them down. In 10th grade, I attended a youth leadership conference called HOBE. One phrase that was stressed throughout the weekend was ELE, everybody love everybody. The world is filled with contrasting cultures, opinions, and beliefs, but we're all human, and nothing makes you a better human than the next. Each one deserves your fundamental dignity and respect. Never forget that. Finally, be passionate. I recently attended my brother's graduation from Utica College, where the speaker of the commencement address was Kevin Carroll, a world-traveled speaker, author, and advocate for social change who has worked with, among others, ESPN, the NHL, Nike, the NBA, Walt Disney Company, Hasbro, Procter & Gamble, the Discovery Channel, Capital One, and Starbucks. I know I have Olivia's attention. Yes, his words appeared on over 17 million grande-sized cups. I was also able to speak with Kevin after the ceremony, and among the many relevant and inspirational things he told to me, a few words that his grandfather used to tell him really stuck with me. Don't talk about it, be about it. There's a lot of big talkers, but not nearly as many big doers. For years, there was a banner hanging in Bishop Grimes that read, "Proclaim the gospel always. If necessary, use words." I remember Mr. D repeating these to us on multiple occasions, and I was actually really sad when the banner was taken down. The idea of someone living their faith so passionately that others take note of it, based on their actions alone, resonated with me. Be the person who not only has a great idea, but takes some action and sets something in motion. Every day, people accomplish great things with very little. Be compassionate, serve others, be vocal about the things you care about, and never be too big to say please and thank you. Don't talk about it, be about it. Last but not least, put down that phone sometimes. The technology we've grown up with is a wonderful thing, but spending the amount of time staring at screens that many of us do is paralyzing. Be present to the people around you. In the long run, this will be 1,000 times more rewarding than trying to get the high score, find the perfect caption for your new Instagram post, or get more favorites on Twitter. 86,400 seconds each day. Use them for something that will make you smile 20 years from now. So, here's to the class of 2016. This is our time. I'm a firm believer that anything can be accomplished at any age with a little bit of grit and willpower, but I still think that there's something very special and unique about this time in our lives, these moments right now. Maybe it's the sudden broadening of our horizons. Maybe it's the fact that we're still a little bit reckless, a little bit innocent, and a little bit naive. We have big dreams, and we're not afraid to try things that others might call crazy or pointless. Maybe it's the fact that so much potential lies before us. We do not yet know what direction the next few years will take, and have no idea who we will meet, what our eyes will be open to, or the direction that the next few years will take us, or where we will end up. We, right now, have the power to create for ourselves anything we wish. We, right now, have the ability and freedom to choose our own paths. Choose bravely and choose wisely. Just because your friends are doing it, that doesn't make it the right path for you. On the other hand, just because not many have done it before you, that doesn't mean that you can't. Even some of us who feel the most out of our plans will change them, and that's okay too. The upcoming years are a blank slate, so get out there, take the driver's seat, and live every second of them. Be you, be unapologetically you, and be nothing but you, but simultaneously listen to others, learn from others. Make some mistakes, keep moving forward, chase something, and never lose your momentum. August 2016. 50 college-bound high school graduates go their separate ways, with good heads on their shoulders. Confident, they move towards their futures. Humble, they cherish their backgrounds and don't hesitate to help anyone they come into contact with. Respectful, they value the great diversity of those they meet. Passionate, they set aside their fears and endeavor to live energetic and purposeful lives. 50 individuals, one class. Thank you for the memories of the past 6 years, and I truly wish you all the best in everything you do.